Intuitive. Welcome to Demystify the Divine. So excited to be connecting with you guys this week. And happy no more Mercury retrograde. And we are now fully ensconced in eclipse season and I want to say the sort of the heightened beginnings of the eclipses where things get really intense. We're moving a little bit away from that. So hopefully you're feeling that energy. And the Mercury retrograde, we're still a little bit in the shadow. So that won't go away for another 3 days. We'll be done on the 20th with that. But very exciting and glad to be done. And, you know, I'm actually kind of curious if you guys want to put anything in the comments. What I find interesting is because I am a Virgo sun, a Gemini moon, and a Libra rising. I have Mercury as my ruler in 2 of those 3 positions. So when Mercury comes up in any way, shape, or form, it's kind of like a double whammy for me, and it hits me. For some reason, this particular Mercury retrograde did not hit me in the ways that I anticipated. It was actually fairly mild. I had a couple of I want to say more like confrontation. I don't like the confrontation. And so I had some confrontational things that kind of came up out of the blue that I think I handled pretty well. And then there were some like tech things, which that's pretty normal. But otherwise, it actually was a fairly tame Mercury retrograde. And I'm hearing from a lot of people who are not Virgo sun, Gemini moon, and Venus rising who have not had such a great time with Mercury retrograde. So I would just be curious to hear where people are at with that. But yeah, we are done with that, which is awesome. Very exciting. And so onwards and upwards. And now we're getting ready to enter into new moon. And you should check out my, I think it's going live today or tomorrow. I can't remember when I put that up. Yeah, thank God. Yes. Keone's like, oh my God, Mercury retrograde is the bane of my existence. So, what was I saying? Oh crap. It left me. It left me. Namaste. Hi, Tri. Nice to see you. Hi, Raigu. So yeah, anyway, I'd be curious to see how everyone was doing with the Mercury retrograde. We have a new moon coming up. Oh, that's what I was going to say. My new moon musings, I think, is being released tomorrow or tonight, if I'm not mistaken. So check it out. It's going to be a really powerful moon cycle. And the new moon is going new, I think, on the 20th, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just kind of doing this off the top of my head. And some really powerful stuff that's going to be coming up in this next cycle. So definitely check that out, especially if you like cards. I do a card pull. The whole reading is a particular card spread, and it's a lot of fun. All right, so let's kind of get into it here. Let's dive on in. And I'm going to actually pull a card today. I felt like normally I just kind of go in for our word or phrase of the sort of the energy and of the times of where things are at. But today I was told I needed to pull a card. So we've got the Creatures Tarot. This is by Sarah Kathleen. And it's a really interesting deck that I got, again, through Kickstarter. You guys know I like to do Kickstarter stuff. Hi, Chris. So nice to see you. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. It's been a good day. It's been a longer day today. It's always my long day on Wednesdays, but thank you for saying so. I'm glad I'm able to make it look good because it's not always the case. So our card.
I'm trying to find a way to double dutch in there. I'm like, every time you pause, I'm like, okay, I can.
You just need to cut me off. Just like,
I'm just going to cut her off.
It's the only way you're going to get a word in edgewise. So you might as well. I just get in my own little world and there we are, right? So our card is for today is 5 of Cups. And 5 of Cups is a really interesting card on a number of levels. Let's chat about what this means. So in the traditional tarot, people read this as a card of conflict, a card of disappointment. What I see with this particular card is catalyst. So whenever we're ready to, or choice, Whenever we're ready to make a choice, or when we are in a situation where we're faced with a choice and emotionally we are attached, we get caught up in the ocean of our emotion about making that choice. We get caught up in the, what if I don't do it right? That's actually kind of getting caught up in the head, but it always starts in that sort of ocean of emotion of maybe even, I don't want to make this choice. I don't want to have to make this choice. This card, so for those of you who follow me a lot, you know that I swear, this is the card that is, I have to choose between shit sandwich A and shit sandwich B. And I don't like either option. I don't like either choice. But there are times when sometimes we kind of have to make a choice in order to get on the other side to be able to really step up. Hey, Jose, so great to see you. We have to step up and make that choice and get through it so that we can really get to the other side and move forward. So it is a catalyst. Often this card also symbolizes something unexpected that comes up that kind of kicks us in the gut. It hits us where it hurts and we aren't expecting it. But why is it happening? It's happening because there's either something that we're being, we're blinding ourselves to. I won't think about that today. I'll think about that tomorrow. Or there are times when it's something that the universe is saying, you're too comfortable. We've got this other amazing thing for you over here, but you can't get there because you can't see it because you're surrounded in all this, cushy, lovey-dovey stuff that is old news. It's connected to the old version of you. And so we have to give you a little shake up. Now, when we're looking at this particular card, I love the purple in it because the purple is all about the third eye. And so I feel like this Five of Cups this week is really giving us a heads up about really paying attention to our intuition. It's all about listening to the intuition and the spidey senses, because the intuition and the spidey senses are going to tell us why this Five of Cups event is happening. And I feel like this week, the energy of what we're all in at this time is really about the shift, the change. That's a 5. 5 is change and transformation. Yes, it can be conflict as well. Let's talk about that. When we're talking about Five of Cups, the conflict comes in this isn't happening the way I want it to happen. It doesn't mean it's not happening for my highest and best. It doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. It means that things aren't going my way. And I don't like it. I don't like how it's feeling. So this week, I feel like the card is challenging us to, rather than get caught up in the stop the world, I want to get off, I don't want to have to move forward with this. It's encouraging us instead to go within, to tune into the intuition and to ask the why. Because when we know the why, it makes it a little easier for us. It doesn't make it, okay, simple isn't always easy, right? So it makes the choice simpler. It gives you a little bit of scope or understanding of why things are coming up. But I also feel like it's giving us the opportunity this week to learn how to surrender to what is, to accept that everything that is crossing our path is happening for us. And we are the ones who judge it and deem it as good or bad, desired or not desired. And this is coming through really strongly to say this week, we all have the opportunity to put that old thinking to the side and to step into the intuition and say, okay, this is being presented in my path. I'd really like to understand a little bit of the why. Now, sometimes we don't get the full why, but we might get a little snippet of the why. That's enough to go on, because all we really need is we need to be focused and present. And being focused and present means we're connected to our intuition at all times. So don't be afraid to ask the why, because the why is going to help you to, I want to say, sort of ease your wounded heart, ease the kick in the gut that you got around you want me to do what? You want me to let go of what? This thing just happened and you pulled this rug out from under me? What? It's a catalyst. And what is it a catalyst for? It's a catalyst for change and growth that your soul signed on to have. You said yes to it. You said yes in that divine blueprint. You said, this is the soul growth that my soul needs so that I can really understand the concept of love in this capacity, or forgiveness in that capacity. Or I needed a fire lit under my butt because I'm really not happy where I'm at. I'm just settling for where I'm at. And my soul doesn't want to settle. My soul wants it all. My soul wants the happiness and the sunshine and the daisies and all of it. So this week, pay attention to where the catalysts are showing up in your life. And I'm not saying that when this card comes up, every choice that you're faced with is sort of the shit sandwich analogy. But there is an energy of, he's crying over, what's he focused on? He's sad and he's focused on the 3 spilled glasses of wine. And there are 2 full glasses. So it's kind of like, you know what? No sense crying over spilled milk. Go with the other wine glasses. It may not have been the choice that you originally thought you were going to have, but let's have the adventure and explore what these other 2 wine glasses are going to bring us. What tastiness they're going to share with us. And maybe that is going to expand us and grow us in different ways. Also this week, I'm feeling like, so money, everybody's talking about money. Everybody is kind of in fear mode around money and the economy. What I'm hearing around money is the guides are saying what you put your focus on is what you manifest. And that goes for the individual path as well as the collective path. And it's super important. Everybody who's watching this right now, we are all, I want to say, connected to energy and light workers and seekers and star seeds and psychics and, all the works, right? So we all have an awareness, a self-awareness, and then we have an awareness of other and things sort of out in the world. It's our responsibility. It's our responsibility to really pay attention to what we're putting out into the collective. So yeah, there may be a lot swarming around in the collective. It doesn't mean that has to be your opinion. And it doesn't mean that maybe you feel differently about it, or maybe you just want to feel differently about it. That's what you want to put out there is, I'm not going there. I'm going to instead focus on the vision of what I see this world becoming. I'm going to put a focus on what I see as being the highest and best for the financial situation for all involved. That's what I'm putting out there. I'm releasing the need to know the outcome, and I am standing in my own light and my own power. So focus on the wine glasses that are full, because those things have something wonderful to teach you, to expand you into, to show you, and focus on what you have, not on what you don't, or not on the illusion of what isn't there. Just focus on what is in your space and your face at this time. All right, Keone, let's do a couple of readings.
All right, let's do a couple of readings once Keone learns how to take the thing off the screen. Oh, there we go. All right. See, this bi-weekly thing is, I'm out of practice.
I know.
But I love it.
Throws everybody off. I got to tell you guys, though, the break, doing the every other week has really helped me with my particular health journey. So, I'm not saying that I won't go back to weekly at some point, but right now it's exactly what I need. So I'm grateful to everybody for hanging in there.
I'm in agreement with you. It's been a much needed, because you and I both, and this is not a pity party for us, but I've got problems, and we both run all day, from day and night. I get all your alerts because our calendars, remember, they synced up for some reason.
That's right. Yeah.
I hope your HOA meeting went well.
Oh yeah, all good. All good in the hood.
So I know you're just as busy as me because I get all your alerts. So I'm like, she's busy.
Yeah, always running.
Speaking of busy.
Yay! Hi, Reku. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, I know. We've actually been in a little bit of communication, so I know that there's a little bit of struggle. You're on the struggle bus a little bit, but you're a trooper and you're working to move forward and to move through it. So how can I help you today? Do you have a specific question? Would you like me to pull a card for you?
Can you pull a card for me?
Mm-hmm.
Please?
I can. Okay. 3 of Pentacles. So 3 of Pentacles typically is a card of collaboration, but the Pentacles is all about health, wealth. It's about manifesting our thoughts into the physical, the triune, right? Body, mind, spirit, things being in balance. I'm also feeling here that it's about reaching out and asking for help when you need it, reaching out and asking for assistance. It's also what I'm feeling here is we see the smaller figure here who's green with the two coins, and then we've got the larger figure with the one coin. Now, the larger figure could be taking a coin off of the pile and the green guy is giving it, or the larger blue guy could be putting the coin on top. And what I'm feeling here is this is about you in your heart space asking source to give you what you need. It's please add one more thing because I'm missing. So we often think 2 is balance, right? And there's cards on that with balance. I actually see 3 always as being the spiritual balance. So there's a part of you right now that is not missing, but it's like it's hidden, or you can't see it, or you're having trouble accessing it. That's the part that you want spirit to unlock, because you're dealing with 2 things, but you need 3. There's a third element that is missing. You and I have also in the past talked about the flow of energy, the flow of creativity through the mind, body, and soul, spirit, space. And I'm feeling like the 3 of Pentacles is coming up as well around that, because it's not something that, so yes, you connect with others, you do yoga sessions and things of that nature to keep the body flowing and to keep the energy flowing within the mind, body, and spirit. What I'm feeling here is it's like needing to bring something new into the routine. So either bringing new people, like maybe it's going to a different yoga class, or it's signing up for an entirely different experience with new people so that you can learn a different aspect or perspective of how to receive the information or the energy, or how to release the flow of energy. I feel like it's newness is what I'm hearing. Newness through collaboration and going to someone who has a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more experience that can add to the balance, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stacey.
Important. Absolutely. 3 is important for you. So just go within your mind. You don't have to share it in public, but go within your mind, kind of do like a little body scan and see where in the body you are feeling the missing piece, and then ask it what it needs. Is it part of the mind is missing, part of the body is missing, part of the spirit soul is missing? Like, what is it that's out of balance? What is it that I need to put a little more focus on or bring into? And I keep saying missing, but it's never gone. It's never like lost. It's just more like buried. So you just need to find it again and make it more prominent, if that makes sense.
Hidden.
Yeah, exactly. It's hidden. So you just need to bring it to light, bring it to the surface.
Okay.
Awesome.
That makes sense. Thank you very much, Stacey.
Absolutely. Oh, there's the hand. Hey, Inju. So great to see you.
Good to see you too, Keone and Stacey.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
That never gets
Bye-bye.
I know the hand. It cracks me up. I love it.
All right. Going on our new system, everyone who comments, I put them in a wheel, and I'm going to go ahead and spin it and see who pops out.
Oh, I love it. I can actually see the wheel. That's fun.
And you can see it over here.
Yeah.
So she says she has a lot of procedures coming up, and she would just like to see what her guides had for her.
Sure. I didn't catch the name.
Sue.
All right.
Sue Roush.
Procedures coming up, and just would like to know what to expect, you said?
Yeah, just pull a card for her and see if her guides have anything.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Sue. Gosh, I understand totally about the procedures thing because I've been through it myself. Oh, the card just fell on the floor. It's got lots to say. Wanted to make sure that I knew that it meant business. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so you got the 8 of Cups. So 8 of Cups is a card of letting go, walking away from something that no longer serves, and moving forward into the sunrise of a new day. So this is I want to say it's a very helpful and a very hopeful card for you in terms of the surgeries, because I feel like what's going to happen is these procedures are going to do what they're supposed to do, so that you can leave behind this level or energy of imbalance in the body, and you're able to move into that next new chapter, where the sun is, where the light shines. Also, the 8 is all about mastery. And I feel like when we're talking about the Cups energy, it's mastery of your emotional state. So we know when we are manifesting, we are co-creating, yes, our thoughts become things, but how do they become things? They become things based on how we feel about them. So if you have a thought and you've got an icky feeling connected to it, or you've got a lot of limiting belief and there's a lot of feeling attached to that from childhood, for example, or from a previous trauma, that maybe you're holding on to that and it's coming through as fear, what's going to happen is you're going to manifest that thought through that fearful state, or through that that sort of icky feeling state, and you're going to manifest or co-create something that isn't really what you're looking for. So I feel like the surgeries, even though the procedures are physical and they're going to address physical issues, I feel like you're also going to be letting go a lot of attachment to emotional fear that holds you back, or keeps you stuck, or keeps you sort of glued in place. So not only is this going to be beneficial in terms of your physical recovery, you're also leaving behind some emotional stuck that is with you. So I want to say to you, these procedures are actually going to help you in ways, the obvious ways, and then the not so obvious ways. And I feel like a lot of this is because you are in a space of surrendering. You're surrendering. It is what it is. I can't change this, but I can shift my response to this. I can shift how I'm feeling about this, so that I can raise my vibration. And sometimes it's a matter of, okay, I don't like any of this, so how can I find a way to twist these feelings into a pretzel so that I can at least, make some kind of silver lining from it. And I feel like it's really important for you that you take that extra added step to really look into here's why this is good. Here's the thing I can hang on to. And sometimes it's just little and small, but it's enough to elevate that frequency. I'm also hearing, before you go into each procedure, you want to, I'm hearing you want to have a conversation with the arcs. And this might seem on the nose, but I'm hearing Archangel Raphael. So he is the Archangel of healing. So it kind of makes sense. Not that means that he would necessarily guaranteed be the angel that would come through for you, but he happens to be the one that's popping into my head. Call him in, call the angels in and call him in. And I want to say, just really connect to his energy, see yourself surrounded in his energy, see all of the staff, the doctors and nurses and everybody that's involved in any of the procedures in his energy as well. See everything just going really smoothly. See your recovery being very smooth and effortless. And I feel that Raphael is going to be coming through to kind of oversee, but also to give you some ease and some peace of mind. So I'm just hearing that to call him in and call the angels in. And it doesn't have to take you a long time, just set aside 5 minutes to do that. And I feel that that he's going to honor that with whatever you've got going on. So sending you lots of love. I'm sure that everyone who is connecting with us tonight as well is sending you love, lifting you up in light, in the healing light of the divine, and wishing you all the best with those procedures coming up for sure. Thanks for submitting your question.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. We're going to the next one. And Sue says, thanks. Good old try. Try the next name to pop up.
And is it a card pull?
It's a card pull.
All right, let's do it.
And then we'll do me next, but I don't know. You're not a psychologist, so I don't know how you're going to work on me.
Well, I won't be able to give you psychology guidance or advice, but I can give you the psychology of what I've learned over all of my own personal trips to the psychologist and the therapist. So that's what I can offer you. All right, Try. So we got Cups and Pentacles in the house tonight. You got 10 of Pentacles, and I love this card for you on so many levels. But the first thing I want to talk about before I actually talk about the card is you've got some family stuff that's coming up and floating up around you. And I'm hearing expectation around, I feel like certain family members have expectation of you around what they expect you to show up with, or how they expect you to show up and assist. And I'm hearing caution. I'm feeling like I don't see the stop sign, but I'm seeing the red, like the yield, the slow down, and kind of take a pause and really evaluate when you've got a family member that is saying, well, I really need you to do this and this and this. You want to evaluate, do they really need that? And do they need it from me? Or am I being manipulated? Or is it because I'm the person who always does it? And, you know, even though I have expressed that I don't have the space, or I've got other things going on, or whatever it happens to be, they're ignoring it and they're kind of insisting. Maybe you tune in and yeah, it's legitimate. I'm the only person to do that. Maybe it's that, okay, I need to establish some different boundaries around family dynamics at this time, not because my family is evil, but because at this time, there are some unhealthy behaviors, unhealthy choices that are happening. And I don't want to be a part of that, or I don't want to get sort of roped into something that's going to cause me to maybe slip into more unhealthy patterning or thinking. I feel like you've worked too hard to be kind of drawn into something. So I feel like that's kind of coming up just as off the top of my head. Something that's coming up is a family issue for you in the next month or so. Now, the 10 of Pentacles itself is awesome because it definitely symbolizes some new beginnings. And I feel like you are in this next week and a half getting ready to start something new, I want to say, on a personal level. So this could be you're taking a special interest course, you know, interest in something that has nothing to do with work, and you're just doing it for your own personal interest. It can be a particular health journey that you're starting on. It can be starting at a new gym or taking a new workout class, but there's definitely something new that you are beginning and stepping into. And what I love about this particular card is look at all the beautiful green on it. I feel like whatever it is that you are starting out, it's going to grow and it's going to be lush in its growth. It's going to help strengthen your confidence. It's going to help you to get to know yourself better. In the long run, I feel like it's going to fill your love cup. And I feel like ultimately, you know, we're looking at these trees here, but I'm actually seeing them as mountains. And I feel like it's kind of like you're overcoming these hurdles that you've had for a while that you're now really kind of seeing differently. Like you've been seeing them as mountains off in the distance that were just, oh, it's so overwhelming to think about that and all the things I would have to do to train in order to climb those mountains. And I just don't think I've got it. Well, now you're looking at it and you're going, wait a second, those aren't mountains at all. Those are beautiful trees. They're full, lush trees. Well, I can climb a tree. I can do that. I can figure it out. I can bring my ladder over and, you know, climb up that tree with a ladder. I don't even have to do it, you know, in some crazy creative way or some dangerous way. So I feel like there's been a shift in perspective, or just a shift in what you are seeing. I guess that is perspective, but what you are seeing on a physical level, as well as a sort of a a perceived level energetically. The blue is interesting as well, because the blue is all about the ocean of emotion. And so I feel like that's at the forefront for you, but it's not overwhelming. It's not overtaking you. It's actually feeding the growth. So I definitely feel like for you, this next month or so is really going to be a time where you get to kind of put yourself first. You have a lot of fun doing it. You're learning some new things. You're expanding your knowledge. And most importantly, it's a self-awareness journey. You're doing kind of a deeper dive with yourself. You're filling your love cup. I wish more people got that reading. We don't do it enough. We really don't do self-care enough, unless you are, I want to say, independently wealthy, or you have a beautiful, true detachment to financial stuff of any kind, or material stuff of any kind. And hats off to you on that. I'm not there. I'm not there. As try as I might, there are still things. We all have the the things that we need to survive and thrive with. And we live on a planet where money makes the world go round. So self-care, it's not a luxury, it's a necessity. So I love that that's where you're at. And thank you so much for submitting your question.
I almost said you're welcome as if I was Try, but I'm sure he is saying you're welcome out there. Thanks, Try.
Absolutely. My pleasure. All right. I guess that's it. Or do we have one more?
I can get one more in there. And let's go ahead and take a spin. I like doing this. This is my highlight of the day.
I think it's fun. I think it's great in that way. And I love that we can see it on the screen, because that way.
Oh, I didn't even realize you could see it.
Yeah,
Jade.
Great.
Jade.
All right.
Jade Provis.
Does Jade want a card?
Yes, please.
All right. Oh, Jade, you're getting two. Two are standing out to me. All right, you're Jade. You're breaking the cycle today of the pentacles. You got one pentacle, and it's not a cup. It's a sword. So, your first card is Six of Pentacles, and I love this card because the Six of Pentacles is all about a reinvestment. And I feel like for you, this next sort of window of time, this next energy is really about you evaluating where you're putting your time and your energy, who you're putting your time and your energy into, and are you getting enough back in return? One of the themes of this year in particular is reciprocity in our relationships. And I feel like this is a big one coming up for you, because there are two relationships that are in your life. I feel like one is maybe in the friendship realm, and there's another one that I want to say might be like a mentorship, or might be like a mentorship that you've outgrown, or might be something connected to work or to how you contribute. And I want to say they're a bit unhealthy. There are some things that are coming up where there's, there's incongruency there. And I feel like you've been feeling it for a while, but you haven't really known how to address it or how to navigate it. This window of time right now for you is about asking the tough questions. Am I getting what I need when I give this much to this person? Am I getting back? And it doesn't mean you're a selfish person and you're only giving in order to receive. It's not about that. It's about understanding, you know what? Like, okay, I started off balanced. And if I keep giving these things away, but there's nothing coming back in return, I'm not going to have enough to give to anybody else. In many ways, this is what I like to call the love cup card, because it is really about that. If I'm giving to you from a half empty or an almost empty cup, I'm really not going to have a whole lot left, because I don't even have enough for myself. But if my cup is full and overflowing, I always have enough in surplus, because I'm always giving and receiving in kind. So the Six of Pentacles is coming up in really big ways to get you to do the hard question of, am I really getting the equivalent to what I'm receiving? And it doesn't mean it has to be tit for tat, but there's definitely got to be something there. There's got to be a reason why you're doing what you're doing. And then you've got Four of Swords. And this is really fitting with this message, because Four of Swords is all about the rest. It's taking a rest from your mind, the mental energy space, the monkey mind, the hamster wheel. And I feel like this is a real strong message for you. Stop giving into things and people and places that don't give back to you. Take a rest. Say no. Create a boundary with people. Four is foundation, right? Building a foundation, the work and the effort that goes into a foundation. Well, a foundation can also be a boundary. And I feel like for you, it's putting boundaries around your mental space, your mental health, your mental energy. It's about your energetic space as well. But that all comes through our monkey mind. You know, the ego speaks through the monkey mind. That's why a lot of us, we can't shut the mind off. You know, like we want the brain to run, but we don't want the mind to run everything all the time. We need the mind to be a tool. And often it's on overdrive. So for you, I feel like it's giving yourself permission to have some boundaries and to simply say, you know what, I'm unplugging from the world for a little bit. I'm checking out for a minute. You'll have to ask someone else because I'm not available. So that feels really important and really significant. So thank you so much for submitting your question. I hope that makes some sense and helps you out. I see. Are you still? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. There's no video, so I wasn't sure. There were a couple of things going on there. I thought maybe there was.
I had to switch computers. I kept freezing, and I was like, if I'm not here, the show won't end.
Right. I'm like, okay, what's going to happen? Oh, that's great, Jade. You are so welcome. I'm glad it makes some sense. So that's awesome. Rick, so nice to see you. Absolutely. Have a great week. Thank you guys all so much for coming on and for hanging in. I know, like I was saying earlier, the every other week can be a little, throwing everybody off their schedule, but I appreciate everyone who's hanging in. It means a lot to me that we're all still able to connect and commune. I would like to say that I have something fun coming up that I'm going to be offering to my tribe. So if you aren't, I mean, most of you are, but if you aren't already a part of my tribe, go to my website, take my Find Your Phoenix quiz, and get on my list, because in the next couple of weeks, I am releasing a free 3-month experience that is connected to community building. It's something that I've been hearing from clients like crazy, that, I feel like I'm on an island because I understand all of these things. We're talking about all these things. I've changed so much. And, the people that are my friends and have been my friends for a long time, they don't want to talk about this stuff, or they're jealous, or they think I'm a freak. And I just don't have anyone that I can talk to about these things. So I'm putting something together, and we're going to try it out. And we're going to try it out for 3 months and see how it goes. But, and again, completely free, zero obligation. All you got to do is click a link and join us. It's going to be through Zoom. But please check that out. If you are someone who is looking for community and you're feeling a little lonely in maybe your family circle or your friendship circle, and you're kind of like, I'm a little bit different and I think a little differently, and I understand energy, and everyone else around me thinks I'm a weirdo. This might be the place for you to find some people who are of like mind and like heart and like soul. That's all I got to say about that for tonight. Sending everyone so much love. Check out my website, The Black Feather Intuitive. Subscribe, click the bell, do all those things on YouTube to keep us going and keep us active, and absolutely love it. Oh, Justine, hey. Yeah, the cards are the Creatures Tarot. It's an awesome deck. Have an amazing week, or a couple of weeks, guys, and we'll see you in June. Ciao.
Yep. I know they miss me more than you.
You do.